is a Chamber of Commerce afternoon here in the Peach State of Georgia. We've got the roof open, wide open, and we are ready for football.
I'm the best, and you know, and I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get up, go. If I touch it, then it's cold. I'm the best, and you know, and I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get up, go. If I touch it, then it's cold. For the bank and they know I'm in prison. He wanna talk, but he not on the schedule. I ain't taking no from my boy ain't heavy. I'm the best, and you heard what I said. Spend all the money, I'm dripping, it's falling. Got on it, then it's dripping like water. Teaching, but I don't have a daughter. I know me, I can pick up when I call it. Working big, and it don't hurt to break, cause I'ma always do it how I wanna do it. Every time he lead a do it, Mr. Knew I got him running to it. I'ma need to pull the mail before we talk it that I'm waking up and thumbing through it. Run like a runner do it. Stun on her till like a stunner do it. I'm the best, and you know, and I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get up, go. If I touch it, then it's cold. I'm the best, and you know, and I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get up, go. If I touch it, then it's cold. Top dog like I manage. I'm the really damaged. I came out and make the channel froze. I'm really who the panel chose. Put my name up like a banner boat. Acting tough and I'ma let her go. Name up who got a better flow, but she can hang it up just like a telephone. Let's get me up with the cost 10K to let it come see it. Bands that young, make it come treat it. Spin, make it come beat it. I want the new in the machine out. Jewelry be caught like the temperature zero. I'm the hardest, they call me the hero. Heavenly, then they know what I be on. I'm the best, and you know, and I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get up, go. If I touch it, then it's cold. I'm the best, and you know, and I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get up, go. If I touch it, then it's cold.
I'm really out for blood this time, look. Whew. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Gonna tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. Heard they was sleeping again, say no more. This is a rude awakening, kicking the door. Back and I'm better than ever before. Don't get it mistaken, I'm ready for war. I see the option, I'm up in the score. I catch a and jump in the Porsche. Follow the core and the back to the morgue. Take the sheet off and I some more. When I am done at the scene, I won't leave anything. You won't even know who was involved. Don't let me do it, cause I overdo it and do it till I cannot do it no more. All of the doubters, I'm proving them wrong. Back with the classic, I know it's been long. Heard they was missing me while I was gone. I smell the victory back up on top, and it's where I belong. Like it ain't to me, we making history. Fall through the misery, weather the storm. Can't let them get to me, no weapon form shall prosper. Be all over my roster. I got options, I keep it right on the dresser. Next to the Oscar, applying pressure. Somebody stop us. Woo! Applying pressure, somebody stop us. Running my closet, go need a doctor, go need a doctor, go need a what? I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my head. Gonna tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my head. Gonna tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge.
The weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today, we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. they start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. But the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You got to expect this team to take chances, go for it on 3rd and 4th downs, run a lot of trick plays, anything to try and break their losing streak. So you must stay alert and stay aware.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off on a safety, Jarquiski Tart. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
Part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity. Just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now, on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Okay, ball ready. Up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Into the hands of London. And they'll work this down inside the 30. Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener. It was the Falcons getting the road victory in that one, so they'll look to finish off the season sweep here in Atlanta.
On the set. Panther 11, Panther 11. Ready.
2nd and 5. Throws right back to London, complete again. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a 2nd consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
Well, they set the power set out there, and their job is to be man-on-man and move people so they can run the football. But that time, too many men didn't get moved in the box defensively. They end up throwing him for a loss.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Working out of the gun, Winston. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And that's how you shake off the interception you throw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant, and the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing a second interception.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
And a short gain down to about the 33. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, caught by London. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Saints will have the football back. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Off the play fake, Winston. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
On 2nd and 10, Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. And the Falcons are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He's got his pass-catching tight end, that's Pitts. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. The Falcons at 4-3, a game over 500. And they come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Right back to Pitts again. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Here we go now on 1st and goal. Back to throw again. This will be caught at about the 5. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll look to throw again. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Well, this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that was officially a loss of 1.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
On 3rd down, Winston. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Have excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Pitts. Back to throw. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. 4th down, and the attention turns to Falcon kicker Younghoe Koo. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. Koo knocks this one through the post. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Finding room at midfield. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the 44, Winston. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays. Given back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down.
But they've certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Winston. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. He's at the 50. 30. 10. 5. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, don't I ever.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Winston. Open man is the tight end Troutman. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, that one hurts. That wipes away what would have been a big play.
Well, you and I both know coaches aren't real big on silver linings, but at least that play call was a successful one. Now the focus offensively, that goes to overcoming the penalty and making all that yardage back again.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And my goodness, another interception. Desmond King picks it. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's to the speedster Olamide Zaccheaus. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now this one complete on the slant route. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Throwing, Winston. And now here's another interception. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
So the completion good for just 3, and it's second down. They'll drop to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Pete Werner. And the Saints are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. But we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, Winston. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he is going to have a Saints first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down. Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On the check down, he finds Kamara. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And 3rd and 8 now.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Jameis to throw it. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons' offense at the line. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On second, here's Algier. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. The Falcons send out their punter. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Take it in at the 11. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives them a first down. Winston. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit to this squad.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Winston. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution.
And my goodness, another interception. And the Falcons are going to take over at their own 41. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career. But when you're talking about 1 game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense, and know what they say. Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early. Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
They'll look to throw. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big third down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. Well, they got the ball already. They're not going to risk the yardage and running another 4th down. They decline it.
And what was that they taught you in law school, that possession is 9/10 of the law?
I didn't go to law school.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did. Well, I figure I'm going to give that to you anyway. Possession is 9/10 of the law, and it's 9/10 of this game, too. Having the football counts.
You're so litigious. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it. And the Falcons grab it. And he's got room. And that might just submit it. A return for a late touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down. Here's Winston. And he's got the hook up to Landry.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
The pass caught by Olave. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 39. A gain there of 21 yards.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. And now here's another interception. And the Falcons are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And they take a knee. So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for Atlanta, they improved to 5-3 as they approach the halfway point of this 17-game schedule. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come to town. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings.
they rattle tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off that, now I'm better. I get capital. I help my people to get cheddar. I do business. Look here, stay out my business. I'm so iceberg slimish, stainless, not a blemish. I should have been to prison. No boy remorse, no cases pending. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't no swimming. I'm the man now, ain't I? Work a plan now, can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. What you talking that funky. It was about my face, wearing that monkey. Not that. That might give you life advice. Get some money. It's the paper power pastor, burning rubber faster, down a call NASCAR. My solo, no sir, I am not a passer. I will not be after any of you fever blistered. I'm the man now, ain't I? Work a plan now, can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same.
Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many, give it Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many, give it Sunday magic. Round of applause and you go, that's it. Damn, that's a bomb with a flick on my wrist. Jersey on my chest.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. They hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spread. And now you got calling your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in the trenches. It's no difference. 4th and inches. I'm finna hit a lick and handle business. I got her down. She real vicious. Rock-a-bye, baby. No witness. This is not even a conflict. You on nonsense. Got the same way.